everybody, I'm back with another free visual novel. I know I said I wouldn't do visual novels for a little while after that, so I could, like, get used to playing other games. But, yeah, I'm shit with technology, and that crap didn't happen. Lots of things fucked up, and it was very depressing. So here we are, playing this, without Within. There we go. Venti, 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 Venti. The chants of my fans echoed through the door in front of me. Wait, do I click it? Oh, okay. One of my two bodyguards wrapped his hand around the doorknob. Please, prepare yourself, Miss Venti. Once I open this door, we'll head straight for our limo. The guard had no reason to fret. I had long since grown used to these crowds. Still, I nodded to put him at ease. After taking a deep breath, he pushed the door open. A crowd of hundreds raised their cameras as soon as I stepped out. My guards waved their arms to shoo them away. This red carpet was for me to walk on, after all. I blew a kiss for these starstruck peasants. Miss Venti, please, let us hurry, the bodyguard said. Too bad for him. I strutted along like a model on a catwalk. A group of reporters managed to worm through the crowd. They now tiptoed over my guards in hopes of scoring that exclusive. Venti, how does it feel to have won another Calligrapher of the Year award? A reporter asked me. Before I could answer, another dozen people shouted over each other, hoping for my attention. Venti, may I get a photo with you? Can you sign some autographs for my kids? And two for me, of course. I can't believe I'm standing this close to Venti! My fans stamped their dirty shoes all over the red carpet. Finally, my bodyguards pulled out their pepper sprays to keep these fans in check. A young male reached in my direction despite having a spray aimed at his face. Rather admirable for a peasant. I extended a hand for this male fan to kiss. Unfortunately for him, he fainted at the sight of my perfectly polished nails. I reached my limousine at last. My bodyguard opened the door for me, and as I climbed in, my trailing fans snapped as many photos as they could. Miss Venti, the crowd chanted as my car window pulled up. How odd. They never referred to me as Miss. Oh, my graceful presence must have been too much for their sanity. These poor things. Miss Venti! Oh. Well, I had fun while it lasted. At least I got to ride in a limousine for a good 30 seconds. In real life, my only registered vehicle was, well, my 10-year-old bicycle. My apartment had no space for a car anyway. Actually, a single room with cracked walls might be an insult to the word apartment. Pull up those curtains for a spectacular $1 view, featuring a sewage pipe and a wall tainted with yellow. Just open the window if you wish to smell the sewage as well. A breathtaking experience. Oh, by the way, sorry. I need to take back the one-room thing. This place actually has 2 rooms. Thank you very much. The second room happened to be a toilet. That still counted, right? The toilet clogged 3 times a month, but so be careful when using it. Miss Venti! A woman's voice echoed from outside. She was no fan, but rather my landlady. I glanced over at my clock. 6 a.m. Waiting another hour or 2 would have been nice. She probably just wanted to tell me about another rent rise. Nothing good ever came out of that woman's mouth. I would be better off staying in bed. Rise and shine, stay in bed. We gotta get up. Coming! As I changed into something more appropriate, the landlady still kept knocking. I said I was coming, did I not? Maybe I should walk out naked if that was what you dug. If this were a game, we might get a sale boost, too. Good morning, Miss Vinty, the landlady said. I must ask, what's with that hair? It looks like you just woke up. That's because I did. It's a waste for young ladies like you to sleep away your youth, the landlady said, shook her head. She had no right to preach to me like this. I wanted to tell her, but I decided against it, as doing so would give her an excuse to lecture me further. With her size, if I enraged her, she would squash me into Venti-flavored pancake. Miss Venti, your rent was due 3 days ago. Well, at least there was no rent increase. Sorry, madam. My next paycheck will come after tonight's shift, so I'll pay you first thing tomorrow morning. The landlady grunted. All right, just know that if this keeps up, you'll have to find somewhere else to live. She spun around to leave. Once she disappeared behind the corridor, I kicked my door shut, causing a piece of my cracked wall to fall off. I tried shoving the piece back into place. My effort resulted in more wall fragments flaking off. Great. The landlady would make me pay for that next month. Once I become an accomplished calligrapher, she would beg for a chance to shine my shoe. Hey, I sounded a bit ranty before, but that was never my intention. A lot of famous people had humble beginnings. I would follow in their footsteps. But first, I need to put in the work. Go, concept art. And so I returned to the busiest street in my area, with my calligraphy spread before me. I sat on the concrete and rested my back against the fence. Car horns blared behind me, mixed with people shouting things about each other's mothers. Okay, hold on, I gotta save. Yeah, here's good. No, wait. Okay, is that, do I just... Alright. These cars kept expelling fumes that made me choke. Just one of the many things I dealt with in the name of art. Pedestrians took up almost every inch of space on the street ahead. Surely this would be the day when somebody spotted my talent. I clicked it, didn't I? As always, no one afforded me anything more than a passing glance, and my will soon dwindled. Let's be honest. I never expected to be showered with praise by every head who passed here. What was that old saying? 10% of the people you reached out to will buy your work? I could live with that. But just 1%. Please. Anything but 0. I wanted to scream at these people. They had no idea how much sweat I poured into these calligraphies. Persevere, rant. Probably persevere. I decided to keep these displeasures to myself. People often said patience would be rewarded. I wonder if my patience would ever become worthwhile. Just as I thought this, a man paused to look at my calligraphies. He had a bucket of fried chicken in his hand. The smell made my mouth water. I could go for fried chicken. As the man eyed my works one by one, I felt my cheeks heating up from anticipation. At last, someone who spared more than a moment with my works. This must be my reward. The timing could hardly be more perfect. I summoned the courage to speak with the man, but he spoke first. You're charging for this? I managed a tiny nod. The man snorted. I would never hang these on my wall, even if you gave them to me for free. Seriously, this is the most shameless display I have ever seen. Trolls online were one thing. Confronting one in real life was a rarity. Judging from the man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease. Then we would know just how big of a blunder he had made. Just don't do it. Don't provoke him. Folks always said to ignore trolls, I clenched my teeth and stayed put. After chuckling in my face, the man started off. Determined to prove him wrong, I continued to sit and wait for potential customers. Another 1,000 people walked by without sparing me a look. Lingering here any longer would be a waste of time. As I packed my things, I insisted I was leaving because my part-time job started in an hour. Deep inside, I knew that man's words had rocked my confidence. Giving up on calligraphy would mean I had wasted all this time over nothing. Yet, if I lacked the gift, preserving might make things worse. Tears welled in my eyes, and I clenched my fists to hold them back. Speaking of tears, I heard a kid crying within the crowd. Looked like we had a lost child on our hands. Some pedestrians shot him glances, but none of them offered more than that. These really were horrible people. To cheer myself up, I told myself I would never want my calligraphies to be owned by people like that. I should help the kid, but that would mean being late for my job. What's with all these moral choices? There's lots of moral choices involved in this one. Be two or not to be two. That was weird. Okay. Ignore help, ignore help, ignore help. I'm gonna be late for work. Then again, I have heard Asians are relatively cruel when it comes to being like noisy children and all that. Let's go ahead and we can help him, I think. Okay. If I judged others for abandoning a child, then did the same myself, I would be a jerk and a hypocrite. With a sigh, I walked up to the boy. There, it's okay. Did you lose Mummy? The boy was sobbing too hard to answer. I leaned in to stroke his back with one hand and his head with the other. Let me know if you lost Mummy, okay? I'll help you find her, so there's no need to be scared. The kid managed to nod at last, and I whispered good boy into his ear. What's your Mummy's name? Hungry. Your name is Hungry. The boy's tummy growled, and I realized what he meant. Oh, well, how about I buy you a sandwich? The kid shook his head. I want ice cream. Hey, kid, ice cream is more of a dessert, actually. I want ice cream. And so ice cream it was. One for him, and none for me. The money came out of my pocket. Of course. Oh, wait, the money came out of my pocket, of course. My poor wallet. At least this kid could have eaten the whole thing rather than let half of it melt on a shirt. Jessie, the boy said. That's my Mummy's name. Jessie. Wait, oh, that's me. Okay. Jessie, I called as I strode along the street. Now people stared at me more than ever. Enough to make me blush, in fact. Maybe I should try shouting Jessie at random the next time I sold my calligraphies. Yeah. The sky turned orange as time ticked by. Yes, I knew my shift started half an hour ago. Stop reminding me. A woman squeezed through the crowd and scurried towards us. She ran past a red light, nearly getting hit by a truck in the process. Mummy! The boy shook free of my hand and rushed onto his mother's embrace. Into his mother's... I screwed up that entire sentence. See. Mummy! The boy shook free of my hold and rushed into his mother's embrace. After muttering apologies to her son, the woman gazed toward me. Oh, thank you so much for your help. You're wonderful. Just wonderful. Unlike me, the terrible mother that left my kid in the street. The torrent of praises curled my lips into a stupid grin. Anyone would have done the same thing. Please, if there's anything I can do in return, just let me know, the mother said. Actually, there is something I need help with, yes. The mother nodded. Anything within my power, miss. Which way back to the train station? Yes. She's so cute. I like the way she does her hair. The sky had gone dark by the time I arrived at work. I opened the restaurant door gingerly to avoid making any noise. Stealth mode switched on. They call me Ninja Venti for a reason. Miss Venti, the voice of my boss nearly made me jump into the ceiling fan. This is gonna be embarrassing for this girl. I'm sorry I'm late. I wanted to explain, but my boss glared at me, and my tongue slurred out a bunch of syllables. My explanation was in there somewhere, probably, maybe. I received an earful from my boss, but at least I got to keep my job. Several colleagues shot me frowns, but not being here turned such... Several colleagues shot me frowns for not being here during such a busy period. In the end, I took all the blame, without complaint. Well, at one point, I locked myself inside a toilet and screamed into the bowl. I also might or might not have fantasized about nugging my workmates' heads in the toilet. That was for me alone to know, though. At least I earned the paycheck needed to keep my landlady quiet for another month. As for the month after that, we would see when the time came. All I wanted was to pursue my art, but reality kept pressuring me towards finding a second. All I wanted was to pursue my art, but reality kept pressuring me toward finding a second job. On my way home, I spotted a banner for an upcoming visual novel named Princess Aria. The game had long been hyped on every forum I knew. Amazing art along with a cast of famous voice actors. The writer and composer were big names too. For Princess Aria to have an ad this big, there must be a lot of money put behind the project. The way this banner hung high gave me the sense it was extra important. Bright lights shone on the princess's face to impress potential players. Yes, that was what I really needed. If I had a banner like that, no doubt people would line up to buy my calligraphy. I could already imagine how folks would react as I walked along the streets. Can you sell calligraphy? Is that a thing? Hey, I think that was Venti. Whoa, no way, you mean that famous calligrapher I see on all those banners? Yeah, she must be really good. Maybe we should ask for her autograph. My agent would then step in to speak on my behalf. Please, line up in an orderly fashion, everyone. How much for an autograph? Shut up and take my money. My agent nodded in response. Autographs are available for $100, thanks. Yeah, that would be $100, thanks. The game shop owner said. Princess Aria cost twice what I had predicted. If I bought the game, I would have too little left for rent. I opened my wallet, hoping that I might have more cash on hand than I realized. Turned out, I had less, actually. I hung my head, and the storekeeper sighed. His arched brows pressured me into buying a game. I did ride 3 trains to get here. Might as well pick up something. I told the shopkeeper how much money I had, and he shook his head. The store owner pulled out a different game from under his table. He brushed away the dust on it so I could see the cover. The title read, Sunflower War, some visual novel about the battlefield. Copyright 1997, the bottom read. No wonder it was so cheap. Art by Invert Mouse, whoever the heck that was. Hey, they made this game! I'm gonna have to look for it and see if it exists, actually. Okay. The front cover would fit perfectly in a kindergarten classroom. I flipped the case to see what was highlighted on the back. This game supported up to 640 x 480 resolution. Truly the pinnacle of technology. The shopkeeper grimaced. He must have sensed I wanted to say no. His stare made my palms strain and sweat. And I ended up buying the game. Dealing with folks like that had always been a weakness of mine. Remind me to never visit this store again. With heavy strides, I returned to my apartment. 0 calligraphy sales, late for work, and with rent. Topped off by blowing cash on some game I had no interest in. What I really wanted to play was Princess Aria. Forcing myself to suffer anything else would just upset me further. Play, sleep, play, sleep. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. These choices, this is the choice I face every night. Sometimes I choose sleep, usually I choose play. That's actually what I'm choosing right now, by the way. Okay. I guess we could go to sleep. Forget it. I only bought Sunflower War out of pressure. After shoving the game into my bin, I crawled into bed. For the next few weeks, I tried over and over to sell my calligraphies, but all of my works remained untouched. Well, aside from a few pedestrians who stepped on them by mistake. Wait, my bad. I did make one sale. This one guy said he needed my calligraphy to use as toilet paper. I had 0 passion left for calligraphy. In fact, just thinking about it fueled me with anger. This was no longer the career for me. Today, I chose to retire for good. Bad end. What? 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 Wait, so that... what? That was... Huh? Oh! The plot thickens!